All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Ilan Sobel, the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences. And Ilan, welcome. Good to see you again.
Steve, nice to be on the show again today. Thank you.
Yeah. And also joining us is your brand new Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Brian S. Cornblatt. And Dr. Cornblatt, great to have you along as well.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. We'll get to you, Doctor, in just a second. But Ilan, as I mentioned, he's your new Chief Medical Officer. So first off, just some thoughts about Brian and why you thought he'd be perfect for this role.
Well, in fact, Steve, today is actually a defining day for BioHarvest Sciences in our pursuit of really being a best-in-class, purpose-driven company, bringing unique, science-driven therapeutic solutions to the marketplace. And to be able to do this, we need the best people on our leadership team. And I think many of our investor partners have understood the power of a number of PhD plant cell biologists that have been part of our R&D team for the last 10 years. And really today marks a critical extension of our leadership team with the hiring of Brian, or Dr. Cornblatt, as you so eloquently shared his introduction. For me, Brian, the pursuit of Brian was a 6-month journey to find the perfect person that fitted the values of the company, had the deep mission inside him to be able to bring the power of the plant to the people, which really is what our company's platform technology does every single day. And importantly, somebody that had significant experience in the botanical world, understanding how to go from literally ideation all the way through, understanding the manufacturing process, all the way through the clinical trial process, and actually executing and launching products in the market, whether they are nutraceutical products all the way through to products that veer more into the overall drug world. And Brian really has this extensive experience in the US, which is our major market, and importantly as well, in other major international markets like China, Philippines, which will be markets in the future that we will be taking more seriously.
Brian, I want to talk to you a bit about your background and your career. And I was going to call it a career, but it really, from what I've learned about you, it really sounds like it's a lifelong mission. And maybe you can sort of talk about the beginnings of what happened to you in high school and why this career path is so important to you.
No, absolutely. So in the late 1980s, unfortunately, I lost a dear family friend, Andy, to a rare form of cancer. And I got to actually that following summer work with some of his own doctors at the University of Maryland Cancer Center. And I'm doing research. So actually, as a high school student, I was doing my first human clinical trials. I got really interested in medicine and research and was blessed. I actually wound up getting selected to the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, where I started there in 1995. And again, wanted to be a children's cancer specialist. My second year, unfortunately, I diagnosed my own father with colorectal cancer. And I was a little angry, a little upset, thinking, why do we wait for diseases to take hold of us? And so I started looking all around the labs for any ways to proactively prevent things like cancer and chronic diseases, and started finding out that there were only 4 labs at the time working on this, and they were all working on these plant compounds. So I got really interested. It was only a couple of years after it was discovered. So I got in and started doing clinical trials, some of the first clinical trials on understanding these plant compounds. I had 13 wonderful years collectively at Johns Hopkins, and then kind of left and pursued that cancer passion again and did some work in genomics at Catholic Health Initiatives, where we developed this 42 hospital oncology network of clinical trials and using genomics to help guide therapy. And then again was recruited out in 2010 with this. The dream of ours was always to take that sulforaphane or broccoli-based product that we had worked on at Hopkins and commercialize it. And I got a call from a manufacturer in 2010 to see if I wanted to join them in that journey, and I did, and had 12 wonderful years there. And during that time, again, expanded my reach of clinical trials, doing 18 in support of one of the products that we helped launch. And it was just fortuitous. Ilan and I had a call not that long ago, and we talked like we were old friends, and it was just absolutely incredible. And when he shared about the company, which I can tell you why, the why I chose to do this, I just knew this was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities I couldn't pass up.
When you say that, what is it specifically about the company that you felt it was the right move?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot. So, well, immediately after first meeting Ilan and members of the BioHarvest Sciences team, I was impressed with their deep understanding of the power of the plant. And as I shared my life story, I started learning about the power of the plant in the early 1990s. I knew this was spectacular. And they knew that there were all these phytonutrients and these, we call them phytomedicinal compounds with so many wonderful health promoting properties in these plants. And the exciting aspects for me with this company is that it's steeped with like really deep science. And you can translate that to development of unique products to help people across the globe proactively support health and wellness. Remember, I wanted to turn the tables, not wait for us to get disease, but really promote health and wellness. And that's exactly what BioHarvest does. It's kind of their mantra, day in and day out. Additionally, BioHarvest's unique platform technology, it allows for the production of extremely consistent and very clean materials. And this is wonderful for a clinical trial guy like me, because if we can get them consistent and clean, it means they're going to be safe, high quality, and you have a better chance of having successful clinical trials. The other thing too about this technology, and something the space I love to play into, is it allows for ample room for patentability. So making patents so we can protect the company, as well as the development of very unique product offerings. And I like to say the icing on the cake, these are not synthetic materials at all. We're getting the full spectrum of plant bioactives as nature intended.
Okay. Ilan, can you sort of expand a bit on the role of the chief medical officer and what you want Brian to focus on moving forward? Because obviously he's a rock star in his field. So he comes to the company with a lot of really strong thoughts and ideas about moving things forward.
So firstly, Steve, you can see the great energy, the high energy, and that high energy is very much going to be needed for what needs to be done in the company in the next 18 to 24 months. Brian and I have sat down, we've spent time really understanding the big bucket priorities that Brian needs to be focused on, really to accelerate our agenda in the clinical trial processes. Basically, what's kind of interesting now, Steve, is as we're scaling the business and we're bringing, for example, the power of VINIA to more than 13,000 customers, we understand that VINIA and its core blood flow benefits is able to really make a significant impact on a number of, let's call it, health and wellness related indications that we haven't focused on. All our clinical trials to date have been very focused on the cardiovascular health space, and we're seeing VINIA provide significant benefits to people who are experiencing challenges in the area of Raynaud's disease, which is a lack of blood flow to the fingertips and to the toes. We're seeing significant impact in overall oral care as a result of increasing more blood flow to your gums and reducing the impact of gingivitis, all the way through to some people seeing the benefits of increased blood flow as far as their overall sexual performance is concerned. So with all these indications that are out there, and we've seen through significant feedback from our customers on VINIA making a transformational impact in these areas, we have a significant agenda just on VINIA to do additional clinical trials in each of these indications, understanding where we can really make sure that VINIA is able to deliver additional value to our customers. So this is going to be a major priority. In addition, we have our olive cell product, unique blend of polyphenols that we need to commence clinical trials on, because as we are a science-driven company, we want to bring to the market always products that are stepped in science and stepped in clinical trials. And then, of course, we have cannabis. And as you know, we have a very unique composition that we're bringing to the marketplace. A couple of weeks ago, we announced to the marketplace a unique cannabinoid composition that we have. And that's going to be very, very focused on a number of indications today where current synthesized compounds are not delivering the success that patients need in these areas. So a combination of what needs to be done on VINIA, plus with our new olive cell product, plus the cannabinoid space, there's a lot of work that's obviously for us to make significant progress on. And Brian is going to lead that work and lead that prioritization, as well as build a team underneath him to be able to really make sure we're able to accelerate that process and start to bring the unique next generation of therapeutic solutions to the marketplace, ultimately leveraging the power of the plant and bringing this to the people.
All right. It sounds exciting. We look forward to hearing more from Brian as the months and years roll on. So first off, Brian, nice to meet you. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. And you all stay well.
All right. And Ilan, of course, as always, thank you, my friend.
Always a pleasure, Steve. Thank you.
All right, there's Ilan Sobel, the CEO, and Dr. Brian Cornblatt. He's the new Chief Medical Officer of BioHarvest Sciences.